Ciao everybody, Caterina here. Welcome to my kitchen. Well, tomorrow is June 13th, which is the day of Saint Anthony of Padua. I was named after Saint Anthony, and my mother, from when I was really tiny, would always say, let's pray to Saint Anthony. Mommy, I'm not feeling well. Let's pray to Saint Anthony. Mom, this is happening. Let's pray to Saint Anthony. And so tomorrow is his day, and I've decided I'm going to have a celebration lunch with my beautiful parents. For dessert, I'm going to be preparing Ciambella Soffice. Really delicious, simple to prepare. Ciambella means donut. It's a donut shape. Now let's get started. Ciambella Soffice. This is what we will be preparing today for dessert for tomorrow, the day of St. Anthony. I took out all my ingredients 3 hours ago because they definitely have to be at room temperature. Preheat your oven to 360 degrees Fahrenheit. For this cake, we're going to start with 5 eggs. I'm going to give my eggs a whipping. Eggs are scrambled. I'm going to gradually add 1 cup of granulated sugar. The zest of 1 lemon, and I'm going to let this beat for 5 minutes. I want it a pale yellow. A 1/4 cup of sunflower oil. A teaspoon of vanilla bean paste. I'm just going to eyeball it. I've done this so many times I can pretty much tell. I'm gradually going to add 3/4 cup of full fat milk. Now we're going to prepare the dry ingredients. I have 2½ cups of 00 flour. To the flour, I'm going to add a packet of Lievito, and it's a Italian baking powder. If you can't find this, don't have it, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Just going to give it a good mix. I'm going to add my dry ingredients to my wet ingredients, a tablespoon at a time. Every morning since I can remember, my mother would sit on a kitchen chair with her little St. Anthony Bible, and she would just sit there for approximately 20 minutes and say the prayers of St. Anthony, and she would pray over her family, over her friends, over relatives, and she would also make special mention if she knew somebody was going through something. I told you, my mother is an angel. And a generous pinch of salt. I'm going to do a scrape down. I just want to make sure that everything is incorporated evenly. My batter is ready. I prepared my Ciambella mold earlier. I purchased this in Sicily. I sprayed it and I floured it. Now, if you don't have a Ciambella pan, you can use a regular bundt pan. In my Ciambella mold, I'm just going to bang the pan a little bit here to remove all air bubbles. In my preheated oven for 35 to 40 minutes. Once my skewer comes out clean, I know it's ready. I've had many divine experiences with St. Anthony. I've been praying to him since before I could talk, but my favorite divine encounter that I had with St. Anthony, I'm going to tell you the story. It was a few years back. It was on June 13th. My husband was out on our bedroom balcony. My housekeeper was in the hallway. We were having our cameras upgraded, and my doors in my bedroom were open, and I woke up to the most beautiful choir music that you could ever imagine. I've never heard anything like it. And something told me to just sit still and enjoy it. My first instinct was to run and call my husband and call my housekeeper, but something just said, sit back and enjoy this beautiful choir music. I knew it was angels. I could hear it so loudly. I couldn't see anything, but it was so beautiful. And something told me, this is a gift from St. Anthony. I believed that my husband could hear this choir. I believed that Luz could hear this choir singing, and I just enjoy it. Once it stopped, I got up, I ran outside, and I said to my husband, "Did you hear those angels singing?" And he looked at me like, "No, I didn't hear anything. Maybe the speakers are broken." And I said to him, "No, it wasn't through the speakers. It was angels singing in our room, and it was a gift from St. Anthony." And my husband said, "No, I didn't hear a thing." I said, "Okay, Luz must have heard." I ran outside my room. I said, "Luz, did you hear those angels singing? Wasn't it exquisite?" And Luz looked at me and said, "No, I didn't hear a thing. Maybe the speakers are broken." And again, I said to her, "No, it wasn't through our stereo." I asked the fellow that was changing our cameras. He didn't know anything. He said, "No, I didn't hear a thing." So I knew that that was just a special gift for me. But I knew who would understand, and that is my prayer warrior, my beautiful mother. I got on the phone, I called her, I said, "Mama, you're not going to believe what St. Anthony did for me this morning." And she was so thrilled. She said, "Okay, let's just pray to him and thank him for that wonderful gift." And we did. And a year later, we were in Padova in Italy, and we actually went to visit the school, the orphanage, and his church. And I know that that was his calling and that he arranged that. That's my story. My Ciambella Soffice is ready. If you can only smell my kitchen. I'm going to allow the cake to cool in the pan for 15 minutes, and then I'm going to take it out and allow it to continue cooling down for an additional hour. My Ciambella Soffice torta is ready. I'm just going to put the finishing touch, a little bit of icing sugar. I am going to be serving this with fresh strawberries. I'm going to taste it for you. I don't think my parents will mind. Oh, it's so moist. Absolutely delicious. My parents and St. Anthony are going to love it. I want to thank you so much for joining me today, and it's Katerina from my home to yours. Don't forget to hit your like button, and if you haven't already done so, subscribe to my channel and share my recipes. Ciao! Happy St. Anthony's Day tomorrow to everybody.
St. Anthony, you live a simple life through prayer and devotion in the silence of the morn. In lowliness and joy you serve the poor, with gentle, caring, loving heart. St. Anthony of Padua we implore, oh, teach us how to live the
Happy St. Anthony Day, everybody.